Actually Controller, the podcast that is actually Controller. And we are actually in control of everything you're hearing right now. I'm so very sorry.
Hey everybody, welcome to Actually Controller.
Automatically Controller.
Very sorry. Yeah. You got Steve,
Into Jeffrey.
Bob.
Chris, and we have a special guest for you tonight.
Special guest.
Who goes by the name of Tom Kerosec.
Yes, you may have
Hello.
heard of him and his band Kerosec.
You might.
Might have.
As well as a solo project called Tom Kerosec.
Yeah, man. So tell us a little bit about yourself and like what's been going on.
Oh, a lot's been going on. But yeah, mainly just a guy who writes songs and puts them out and then likes to play them live.
Yeah.
I have been lucky enough to collaborate with some great folks in the band Kerosec, which is kind of an offshoot born out of Tom Kerosec, but became its own thing.
Yeah.
And very much is its own thing now.
Very cool.
But beyond that, I like producing music. I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of bands around Fort Wayne.
Mhm.
And
I think
otherwise.
at one point you were like the band producer of
Yeah.
Wayne. Like, I don't think there was a single band that didn't
Well,
produce.
Kerosec Productions
There was
between
No,
the two
actually,
years.
Controller has a track
Yes.
in
There you
the
go, look at that.
Yeah.
yeah in the
You
Kerosec
were-
catalog.
You
Yes.
guys were in the very beginning of me and Matt Raggetts,
Yeah.
who was at least half of Kerosec Productions for a while. We've kind of
Split and done your own things now.
He's doing his
so-
own things. He's had a couple names, but I don't want to,
Yeah.
presume which one it is now because I don't know if he's necessarily doing public studio stuff.
Okay.
Either way, we took you guys on as one of our hey, we'll do this. I don't remember if we did it for free or for cheap.
Yeah, because I think you would hit us up and we were like, we actually have a new song that we're looking at right now,
Mhm.
and
It was the Believe
you
song.
were still in the build of your Rolodex, where you're trying to
Exactly
actually have
that.
like a catalog and be like,
And
hey,
really just hey, we've done this
yep,
thing. So we were like, hey, we know you guys. You're awesome. Come
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
board.
yeah, we're all cool. We know that we can get in there, knock this track out in a couple hours.
Yeah.
You guys have a track. We have something
It was a
for
good time. It was a
promotion
fun
of the new
day
demo.
or
and-
two.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, I think we got all the music done in a couple hours, and then the next, like a few days later, we had
It was like a
vocals.
mix.
Yeah, vocals and got the mix in.
So how long you been doing the thing?
Yeah, how long?
Whatever thing
Which
you want to talk
thing?
about, because you are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, like which things would you like to promote that you're doing? Because I know you've got your hands in a lot of things at the moment.
Dirty
Well,
bitch.
mainly of anything that has been recent or is. What? Come on now.
It took him a
He
second.
just caught it.
It took him a second.
Hey. Anyway. Yeah.
Welcome to Actually Controller Time.
I'll get used to it soon.
There is no filter, just the one word.
That's it.
It's usually my fault.
What was the word? I don't even know what happened.
Exactly.
I just said like something genitalia.
Yeah, and that's not the word. So you're fine.
But anyway, most recently I came out with a solo EP called Fluff, and
Nice.
that was really an attempt at just a departure because number one, most of it was covers, which is a thing I don't normally do,
Right.
especially releasing records of covers,
Yeah.
and a couple of originals that were different than originals that I've written.
Right.
One of them being a total early Beatles ripoff, and the other one being a total maybe second album Muse ripoff.
That's cool.
And the rest of it was covers of covers.
Right.
So every song that I'm covering I'm covering a version that was originally a cover. If that makes sense.
That
So
totally
it's like
makes
a second
sense.
generation cover.
So you're covering the cover of
Yeah,
exactly.
Covering
With
the
the
cover.
spin
For example,
of your taste of the cover.
Exactly. For example, there was "And I Love Her," which is originally a Beatles song, but I covered it kind of more like Kurt Cobain's
Yeah.
solo record thing that came out. But then I took it a step further and tried to make it sound as if Kurt had taken that song to Nirvana and they played it.
So you churched
And then-
it up.
Yeah, kind of. But they never really did that.
Yeah,
So, it was just kind of a fun thing. And I took Supernaut, which is originally a Black Sabbath song
Mhm.
that was covered by the Thousand Homo DJs, which is kind of Ministry / Nine Inch Nails and a couple other bands. Kind of
Yeah,
pushed
all
together.
jammed together, kind of
Yeah.
like the Worm project was. And
Tapeworm, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it was just it's just an idea at something I've never done and wanted to do these things, and it just kind of felt like a cohesive thing because it was all about celebrating. That was like the first time in my life that I've kind of had my shit together.
Yeah,
That made sense.
that's fair.
Because I got
I'm still waiting for that turn for me.
well, I have
We'll let you know
a
when it
steady
happens.
place that I live. I've got a wife. I've got
Right.
a job. And
Yeah, you're doing the adulting. It's
Yep.
really very awesome to watch from the outside. You're doing
well,
great.
thank you. I mean,
Yeah. I'm real proud.
not just a punk rock loser anymore.
Yeah, well, as a punk rock loser, real proud. Okay.
I'm proud of you too, buddy.
Thanks. I'm still losing. It's okay.
So,
Hey,
so how
hey,
long
oh
have you
my.
been doing like when did you begin
Music,
doing
just?
music? Like, I might steal somebody's card. I don't know, but I'm keeping it going here.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'm to be totally I guess in an organization, I was in a church. No, I was in a school choir. I think in first grade, and that would be the first time I did that. But when I first started doing rock and roll / any of that was high school,
Mhm.
and picked up guitar, and I had a couple bands in high school. I've always been kind of a show stealer, so I've never been not the front man.
Is that why you banter so bad when we play?
Yeah.
Everybody knows when Tom's there. I'm telling you what.
That's fair.
What?
I mean,
Can't
that's
say-
fair.
It's
It's
the
like, wait a
forbidden
minute.
word. We can't say it. Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you.
After the
Yuck.
I am totally lost.
No, it's fair.
Anyway,
He's
So-
saying you own the show when you're live.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
we have some direct questions. These are ones that we've written up for basically everybody that comes through here. So we're gonna go ahead and cut
do
to
it.
Steve asking.
Yeah, so this kind of ties into you already getting into it a little bit. You're saying that you've already been the front man and all that stuff, but
Sure.
what experience actually inspired you to start your craft?
Yeah. Like, was there a
that could
band
be-
specific, or was it like a time in your life, or did you eat a sandwich that really inspired you that day? You know?
peanut butter and I think portobellos.
That's amazing.
That would be a
That's
very
an
unique
interesting
sandwich
combo.
and very inspiring.
It's a lot of protein.
I would say music has always been kind of a part of my life in a way that it was just a family thing. But
Yeah.
what really was the catalyst was really just for my age throwing back to Nirvana, because
Mhm.
when I was in 9th grade,
Mhm.
Limp Bizkit, Korn, and all that stuff was all
Yeah.
the rage, and I was totally into it, and I was like, yeah, this is the thing. And then I had kind of slept on the
grunge portion.
6 to 9 years earlier
Right.
thing.
So you didn't really have like the ear
Yeah.
for like Nirvana or Alice in Chains.
And then it just kind of hit, and then I was that did it. And I just honestly just wanted to be Kurt Cobain for about 4 years.
I mean, I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
See, I was kind of the opposite. I had first gotten exposed to all the Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all
yeah.
that stuff, and that it was cool. I was following it, but I more ended up kind of finding my niche when all of a sudden I got
Metal.
exposed to Korn and Deftones and Nine Inch Nails, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
Deftones
I
are-
want to do that.
Yeah.
So-
Deftones are great.
Now, you had mentioned family. Do you have other family members that play music instruments that like?
My sister is an opera singer, sort
Wow.
of. She's not so much anymore, but she was.
Oh, very cool.
She did a lot of performances. I recorded a few of them. I sang Edelweiss with her one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love
Beyond
that.
that, I have, my mom's father was a trumpet player in the Navy, and some of his family are, at least used to be, in the Berlin Philharmonic. And
Oh, wow.
they were recorded on the Scorpions, like Metallica version, SMM type of thing.
Okay,
yeah,
very cool.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so that's kind of
Nice.
a deep cut.
Yeah.
Ironically, tying to that to our first interview with Austin from TBA, one of his inspiring things that got him into everything was the S&M release from Metallica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did enjoy that. I did
Yeah.
enjoy that when it was new. I was
Yes,
like,
I
a big
did
fan.
as well.
I don't hate on Metallica. I try not
Master of
to.
Puppets is peak, though.
I mean,
See, I'm an Injustice guy. That's one that I got into first.
But, I mean, Cliff.
I was right the lightning. So
And I will give you that.
I was right the lightning.
Injustice for Jason. It's all good.
And
Well,
justice for Jason.
for real. What the hell?
Justice for Jason.
Yeah,
all Lars'
it's
fault.
true.
I know.
So
It
how-
is.
You, Lars.
Yeah.
At least we agree on that. Lars is worthless.
So how long have you kind of been in the music scene here? Obviously, you started young with, church, and you mentioned ninth grade music. And
Yeah, well, yeah. So, yeah, we played in high school bands, made some crappy records, and then probably around 21, 22, started playing my first few shows around town.
was that 2004, 2003?
Yeah, 2004, 5.
Okay.
And, played a show at the Brass Rail one time and got a little too drunk and got arrested.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, well, that
That's
happens at the
the
rail.
most
Welcome to
punk
the
rock
rail.
thing
Welcome
to
to
do
the
there.
rail.
That's
go.
the rail.
Yeah. You did it right.
I'm not allowed back in the rail, technically.
Oh, no.
Technically.
Congratulations.
Oh no.
Technically.
Anyway,
I don't think they
played a show
remember
or
me.
two
I looked
since
a lot
then
different.
there, but mainly,
I do recall the last time you were there. Last time was Make Music Day,
Yeah.
Oh no!
and it was it was a protest of sorts, wasn't it?
I don't
you had
know.
a Rage
It
Against,
was-
Rage Against the Brass Rail moment.
Yeah.
It was a little.
Rage
I
Against
mean,
the Machine.
we just there's a little bit of clickiness, and it's like, all right,
I mean, to be fair, every
we got
scene
booked on
suffers from that.
accident, and it was like I didn't expect to play there.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. Is like
We still don't.
because it's like I submitted for years,
Yeah.
and they just ignore me, and I'm just like, okay, then
I feel that pain.
message received. Okay, we end up on a show there by accident.
Beneath It All was on that show too, if I recall.
Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe
Beneath
so.
It
Yeah.
All. That
BIA?
was
Yeah.
Brandon Payton's band.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember being there, and it was.
It's funny who associates who out of that band.
So much. so
me and
much
Peyton go back,
candy.
Yeah.
A lot of antics. So much smoke.
String cheese.
Wait,
silly string.
Silly string. I was like,
Oh,
string
yeah.
cheese.
String cheese.
There was silly string.
Snacks for everyone.
I remember, like just it was just hanging from the ceiling.
It
fan,
was.
just
It was just-
like a
somebody
streamer.
was trying to get it off, and then, we had our smoke machine going, and the fire alarm went off.
Twice.
It was insane.
Twice.
It was
That's
just
amazing.
like, wow, I can't believe we got away with this just now, and nobody came and tore us off the stage.
I mean,
they didn't
it's-
shut the like
the
you
brass
just simple
rail,
close the fader, shut off. They didn't. They let them play.
That's amazing.
It was.
If you're already there, I guess, then whatever.
It was
Yeah.
crazy. We were kind of on that night. I gotta say, there's
It-
a lot of. We had footage, and there's a few. There's a TK TV YouTube video
Yeah.
called
Okay.
"Behind the Things,"
Mhm.
where there's some footage of that, and we sounded pretty good that night. I guess.
Yeah, Les-
I have
Les
to
was
go
still with
look-
you guys
I'm
too,
one
right?
of your
Still with us.
subs to your YouTube channel,
Yeah.
so I gotta go looking.
You can go check it
Yeah.
out and see what happened back
There's a
then.
lot on there. Some things got taken down, but
So over the years, it sounds like you've been in the music scene for 20 plus years or so. What
Yeah.
has been your favorite experience so far?
I don't know, man. Honestly, I think kind of being in that sweet spot of where we were like an up and coming kind of band in the scene, and we were also helping everybody else make music and putting all these records together, and it was just like a point in time where it felt like we just might be able to do some kind of like
Yeah.
A
real
big push.
united thing.
Damn the man, and let's
Yeah.
just get it. Yeah, lift
Well,
everybody up.
And it was a
Yeah.
really interesting scene at that time too. There was a lot of
2017 area.
there was
Yeah.
a lot of people who were willing to work with one another in the realm of,
Yeah.
hey, we got this show. Do you want to jump on it? And
I think at one point there was a trio of bands that was like touring Fort Wayne.
Mhm.
Kerosec, Contrøller, and the Kickbacks. I think all
That-
three of us were doing like multiple shows a year.
did
And
Yeah.
we were
2015 was
we were
like the hot year.
The
Yeah, for
bulk
us.
of the bill.
Yeah, that was when Les was still around, though. Yeah,
Yep.
we were a different band with him. It was like it's chemistry and it's different. I mean, we got more brooding and less fun
Yeah.
without Les, which I think was good and it was.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it's
say
just different.
It's
I
an
wouldn't say-
experience. Yeah.
I wouldn't put like a good or bad over it.
No, I
It's
wouldn't
like,
either.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like I don't know what to call it.
Different era.
Yeah.
For sure. Because I mean, we would have probably written some very different music with Les, but I'm very much a fan of what we did come out with
Right.
on The Verge and what we're working on with what's next.
Completely
Whenever
agree
we
and
get
understand. I mean, we've been in that boat with different drummers
How
over
many
the
drummers?
years. That each drummer that's been in the band would not have led to certain songs being written the way they were.
Right. Yeah.
Had a
Or
different
rewritten.
one been in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to it, either the music you put out or the music you record, what are you hoping to actually like? What's your what are you wanting to accomplish?
Yeah.
I mean, God willing, or whatever you want to call it, that these records that I help make or make myself stick around longer than me.
Yeah,
and somehow
leave a legacy,
mean something to somebody
Mm-hmm.
more than me. And that's really all it's ever been, is because
I still listen to Five Body Blade. It's still
Dude,
my favorite
that video
song.
got taken down.
That,
So
are you
sad.
serious?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But
oh my goodness,
what-
I did not know this.
yeah, but what I hope to accomplish is
I have an
just,
MP3
you know,
that I just jammed to, so I
Yeah.
did not know.
it's still streaming on
MP3.
Yeah.
MT3.
MP3.
Pretty
MP3.
gross.
So when it comes to like putting yourself out there and actually getting to where, you know, trying to record, trying to get that up and going, what do you think is going to be like your biggest obstacle?
Being not famous or having a budget. It's just like, this is the era. It's like everybody who wants to do music, even if you're Taylor Swift, you know, you make .0005.
Yeah, you make no money
Yep.
at it. It's
and
you
I
just
was
do
happy
it
to
because
see
you
that
love
our
it.
Spotify finally broke, or our revenue off of our digital streams finally broke $100.
Yeah.
yeah,
game.
dude, we're 95, like 50 cents.
Yeah.
It's like we're about to actually get a check. After
Yep.
That's
7
amazing.
Years.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
Yeah, I looked
Good
at our
for
DistroKid
you
and
guys.
I'm like, oh my god, we broke $100. We
That's-
made $100 off our streaming.
We can actually get a check.
Hey.
We can buy hot dogs
Yep, pretty much.
collectively.
We all get a hot dog.
Without the bun.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
without the bun.
you know,
But all the ketchup you want, because that's free. So
that is
Is
fair.
it though? Is it?
I mean,
There's no
I mean,
such
you
thing
just
as free
ask-
ketchup.
That's true.
Yeah.
it is to me.
He's a catch.
So of the questions we had prepared, for someone that's starting out, what are the biggest pros and cons in doing like the recording thing, or even just the music scene thing? What do you think have been the biggest pros, and what have been the biggest cons?
For someone starting out now, or for like when I
Yeah,
was
for
starting out?
for now, like, because we got to talk about like right now. We can't
Right now,
like
yeah. Well, right now it's interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a producer, like if you're talking a musician who's trying to start a band, a person who's trying to start a production company or something,
yeah.
like you're fighting with AI,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's
Super
a con,
saturated
or
market.
Is that I don't know? Is that a pro because you can get work done faster?
I mean,
Because there's plugins like we'll say Waves Clarity Vox,
okay, yeah.
which is an AI-driven plugin
Uh-huh.
that, oh man, somebody burped while I was doing a vocal take.
Right.
You just turn a knob and it's gone.
Yeah.
You don't have to redo.
Like I just did, but I didn't have the mic up to my face.
Exactly. But or does it really suck that you can just type some text into, some kind of engine?
Chat
and it'll pull up-
GPT, yeah.
It's not. I'm just being a sales engineer.
Right.
Sales meetings and stuff that we've been to. There's programs out there. You can type in suspenseful, a couple of keywords.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You're
been that
out of
way
a
for a
job.
little while.
Spits out
It's been
composition.
that way for a little while. I personally think it's kind of
gotten
cool.
Crazy in the last year.
I think it's kind of cool because it really kind of drives this idea that we have to do something different than what has
Right.
been done. And I
don't
think
it's the end of
those
the world though.
I think that those that step outside of that circle that the AI has been built upon are going to have incredible success, actually.
Exactly.
So like a lot of people are like,
synthesizers of 60 years ago.
like it's been this way for a while. So to be,
computers are gonna make music now.
Well,
They thought
and
that.
I mean, I'm into that. It's like personally, I'm not anti AI, so I
Well,
like it.
I'm not
And
into
Jeff
it.
and I had this conversation because our newest EP that we're releasing,
Yep.
the artwork is in
Partially.
a technical way partially
Partially,
AI
yeah.
generated and everything. However,
You stole.
No.
in order to get any bit of usable artwork
You-
right now, any of the
Out of
free,
AI? You
yeah,
have to
any
do
of
a
the free AI stuff, you have to coach it so far down the line.
You do. You can't just throw like a single sentence out and get what you're looking for. And then on top of that, we didn't use we just grabbed assets and then compiled and also did like the core of the art ourselves. So it's not
yeah.
like it's like, hey,
Early.
yeah.
Yeah, because it took at least 4 different AI generators, along with about 6 hours in Photoshop of compiling, adjusting, shadowing, all that
Mhm.
stuff, just to load a useful image
That's
into a generator
that you could work with.
Yeah.
That you could work with. So when I hear people talking about how AI is going to ruin this, that, and the other, I'm like, well, I don't know about that.
maybe one day.
It sounds like if it's used
Not right
appropriately,
now.
it's more efficient. You could choose where.
Yes.
But to get to
It's
that point is
useful.
like pulling teeth, and it's different per project you're going to be working on.
Don't you
know?
feel that like any music that's made by AI is going to come across as like empty,
No, actually, because here's the thing.
for lack of a better term?
For-
You know what I
for-
mean? Like it just
So
Maybe lyrically.
For myself, a lot of like the even the tweeners that we use at live, and like some of the music that I've worked with are like floor cut. All these different studios trash, and I like to think of it as kind of like digital necromancy. You know, like I am like breathing life into dead.
He's
pieces.
been living with that term for years.
Yeah,
now.
digital necromancy.
whatever trademark patent, whatever you got.
I mean, like seriously,
that right there actually sounds like an industrial band.
you know,
Digital necromancy.
But like, what's really interesting about it is like, you know, you don't know how necessarily the parameters of whatever program or whatever effect may grab certain aspects or frequencies out of what you're working with. So there's a lot of surprise in still working with it.
It
You
almost
know,
has a personality.
yeah, all of its own. Yeah.
Well, and I agree in the respect of where I think a lot of people's mentality when it comes to AI
Skynet.
stuff.
Yes.
I'm so down for Skynet.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot
Nope.
of people just stop at the if you
No.
are going onto an AI generator
It's
and
all
you're like,
horribly
hey,
good.
you type in your 3 words and
Really
it pulls up the like 7 different files,
Right.
and you're not picky. Yeah, you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about how it looked or any of that stuff. Yeah, you can grab that one file.
I mean,
And it is that easy.
I
And
guess-
the same with the song that's getting generated.
Right.
If you're not overly picky of what the verse sounded like or the chorus
Right.
or
You
did it
can
have
have-
the crescendo or decrescendo, if you're just wanting a pop song,
Right.
then yeah, it can be there and everything.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. I think there is a line, and there's a human element that we want when we listen to something.
Right.
That's going to really matter. And honestly, I think authentic music is going to become more of a commodity as
Mhm.
there's this tidal wave of.
Yeah, of regurgitated same archetype
Well, that's the
music.
thing,
You
is
know,
and in a defense, there's
like
actual
second wave
musicians
grunge.
that put out.
In a way, like
Yeah.
like
Well,
I don't want to.
You mean live instrumentation?
well,
What?
the
Is that what you're
funny
referring
thing
to?
towards that, Rick Beato just
Maybe
put
not.
a video out on this, and he said that he looked at the
I love
trends
Rick.
for the past 2 years,
Yeah.
and the trend is music with more guitars has actually become more popular.
Yeah.
Not necessarily rock, just
With more guitar.
Yeah.
with more guitar. And I think it's because in reality, people have become conditioned to expect a lot of drums to be programmed,
Mhm.
a lot of bass to be programmed, but
guitar.
vocal
Do
and
that
guitar.
easily, more easily than guitar.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, and then you turn around and you look at like the
You never
popular
got guitars these days.
musical, like online. You see these guys that are like the aficionados on guitar and so on, and they're followed heavily still. So I mean,
I don't know. The
Having-
caveat for that is the performance aspect of it. like
Yeah.
seeing it live.
Yeah.
There was a show I went to last week that I love the band's music. Saw them in Fort Wayne. Got the speech that the bass player wasn't there because he was sick and had a family emergency or some
okay,
whatever.
cool.
He's in New York.
Yeah,
So I'm thinking, all right, cool. We're fast forward 3 months. I'm going to see him again. Got another spiel that the bass player broke his hand and can't make this tour. So now my mind is like, is there really a touring bass player, or
Right.
is everything because you've already got backing
Do
tracks
you
for
really
90%.
have a girlfriend?
do you really have a?
Always-
Hey, I do actually.
They've already got backing
I
tracks.
swear,
We've
I
seen
have
her,
one.
it's
She
true.
doesn't live in Canada. She's real.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll call out I'll call out I Prevail. They don't have a touring bass player.
Nope.
It's all tracks.
Yeah.
What was the most recent we talked about last year? Falling in Reverse,
Yeah.
where they had their laptop stolen, and then suddenly
Yeah.
you cannot do a single performance.
Without.
I mean,
You got to back that shit up, man.
yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean,
back it up.
I was
have
really
it on,
Back it
have,
up.
have
That's what they
SSDs
tell me.
that are
So-
literally floating around everywhere.
right, so that you have extras rolling around.
So speaking of performances, though, just because
Sure.
I want to throw you on the spot. So aside from the brass rail situation, name another time that things were just so crazy, so hectic, either with a fan, with difficulty on stage, difficulty with the venue, leave the venue's name out, anything to that extent. And
Chris has one.
I was just laughing about how I met you because it
Uh,
wasn't crazy. But you go ahead.
Early
You go ahead.
birds.
You go ahead. Yeah. What? Oh, you remember?
Oh man.
Do you remember?
I thought you were wasted at that point. At that point, I was.
I'm generally wasted at shows, which is
I
not
was.
great. But yeah. So what was the question again?
Another crazy show.
Aside from the brass rail,
Right.
because that you just talked about smoke
Protest
alarms
vote.
and whatnot.
Appreciate
it.
So name another situation while performing where it was just nuts, whether it be with somebody in the crowd, with the venue, with
I don't
technical
know.
difficulties, performing, just anything to that extent.
Any number. Every show has its moment, but I don't know. There was one where we played at O's, and it was early on, and I got pretty hammered pretty quick, so I don't really remember a whole lot of it. But I know I smashed a guitar, and it was the only time I've done that in this band anyway.
yeah.
And
This time.
This
This time.
Sober Tom's
But
like,
it was-
what happened?
it was at O's, and it was. I brought a cinder block to make sure I smashed my guitar on the
Nice.
cinder
Right
block.
on.
Nice.
Not hurt O's, because
Yeah, you don't want to destroy the floor or anything.
And
like
there was at one point where I just like flung myself on the ground and rolled around a bunch, and I just was really sore. I don't know why I did that. I just was in a mode.
That's
I don't
fair.
know. But it wasn't really like.
It was performance mood.
Yeah.
It wasn't really like a bad time, but it was definitely the craziest show I can remember playing.
Yeah.
In that regard.
Did you at least smash the guitar at the end of the set?
Oh, yeah.
Or, okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was going to
I mean,
say,
I had
or brought
others.
a spare. Well, yeah.
I brought a crappy one to break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you buy a
Fair,
square
fair.
bullet for $60 off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
You play it for one song and you destroy it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
I was mentioned earlier today about how I'm the young blood in the scene, so I was told that I'm new to the scene.
Not
So I did
not
want to
that I'm
ask
here.
with you guys. Yeah. So how did we all meet? Do you remember that? Because
Oh,
that
man.
question reminded me of how I met Tom.
So
I'll share my story, but you guys.
So,
We're both Leo high school alums.
no, I'm Northside.
You're not?
Nope.
You didn't go to Leo?
No, I had friends that were out in Leo.
Okay.
Then I was out in Leo
Then
quite
I'm-
often at different parties.
That's why.
But,
yeah. Yeah, DCS.
See how much he remembers?
yeah.
High school was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I had friends that worked up at east of Chicago.
That's why.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why I worked
Oh,
there.
Carney.
yeah.
Yeah.
Carney.
Yep.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Carney.
Carney.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good or that's a good thing.
It is a
I
good
love
thing.
it.
I was really proud of
I
him
miss Cardi.
opening
Oh,
up for AK 1200
he told
and
me,
all this other
he told me
stuff.
I could buy
did
my soul
huge
back
things.
for a sugar-free Red Bull.
Did you give him one?
Not yet.
Well, I think he
You
stopped
might wanna do
drinking
that
Red
before
Bull.
tour.
He
Yeah.
said, that's why he said sugar-free.
Oh, okay. Word. Word.
But I do know that it
He's
would have
gonna
been
keep
you
mine
and
for
I
now. I don't need
talking
it.
around the time that you were finally getting the current or the most recent iteration of Kerosec up and going, because I don't think Les was in. I think didn't you start
Yeah.
the shows as a 3 and then Les came in?
Yeah.
Sort of. Kerosec came about as kind of a Kerosec being a band name was not my idea. Chad Deutsch is a old producer / collaborator of mine. He's passed away now. 2016. We worked together a lot. He was in a band of mine called Justice for Karma. We were also something else for a second. Tequila Mockingbird. That was a funny one.
That's
Nice.
fun.
But we did some songs. We were on the Homestead radio station a bit, and we played we did the Battle of the Bands at C Street back in the day.
Yep.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the mom showcase stuff.
Yeah, all that. And so we kind of had falling outs, and then came back, and then the Benediction music video that you can find under Kerosec online is me, Chad, and Cray Reed is his name.
Isn't it like in a living room or something like
It was
that?
in my house, and we were just that's how we were.
You
we
do what
lived
you
like-
do.
We
Yep.
lived like crap. It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Punk rock.
It was
There's
a-
gold in the pots.
Punk rock.
And
Yep.
dust in the fan that I smashed from the ceiling. All this stuff. The Scott Tenorman episode of South Park in the
Yeah.
background.
Fair enough.
All that stuff. And yeah, that was the original iteration of Kerosec, because Chad was like, that last name's cool. Just use it. And it was just my stage name. And I was like, I don't really want to be
the front dude.
Yeah, like that. I mean, I obviously want to be the front guy, but
But
my
not-
whole shtick was being the front guy who didn't want to be.
Yeah.
And it was, even though I
And
really
this
wanted
makes
to
it where there's no hiding for being that guy when literally the whole thing is nothing but your name.
Yeah.
And that on
Quite
top of
literally.
it, yeah. And then, like, there's a couple albums where it's like nothing but me on the record, too,
Right.
So it's just kind of like, why not? So we tried to do that, and it just didn't work out because, reliability and commitment issues from band members. And
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that falls into play, like, when you're in a punk rock band, like, and nobody cares.
Well, yeah.
Because it's what's
even if you're not
supposed to
going
be.
crazy, bashing your head against the wall,
Right.
punk rock. It's like, what am I doing here? Because it's not going to make me any money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that attitude just persisted.
Yeah.
I remember the scene in
My
that
parents
time
really
frame.
are not happy with me being in this band, man. But
I mean-
Chad and I, we worked together a lot. And I got into production with him a lot, and
Nice.
Digitracks. I worked at that studio with him.
Mm-hmm.
We did other things together, and then we had falling out, and I never really saw him again for
Before.
years. And
Yeah.
I heard he passed away, and
Yeah.
it was just one of those things where you work with somebody, and then you try to find your own way.
Right.
I don't know.
You end up growing different directions.
Yeah.
And that's it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I do remember you and I had talked, and you were at a point where with Dee and Matt, you were at a point where you felt like you guys were ready to, with that iteration, get live finally and everything. And we had talked to you, and it's Skeletons, or would it have been still?
It would have been Skeletons.
Would it have been Skeletons,
Yeah.
or okay?
It was the
it would've been
Berlin.
I was
It's
going to
in the
say,
Berlin.
I couldn't remember if it was
Our
a
first
Berlin
time
show.
that we ever played.
I thought it was a Berlin show.
As
They still had the lifeguard stand and all that. Okay. So it
would
was
have
the
been Berlin.
Berlin.
I guarantee you.
Yeah, I felt like it was Berlin.
It was-
I didn't think it was
Okay,
Skeletons
yeah,
yet.
yeah, because okay
the first show with Matt D and Les was at the Berlin.
at the
Yeah.
Berlin.
And if I remember correct, that was where we had the bill already. We were looking for other bands, and I think it was
we
because
signed
of
on
Matt.
last
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, I think it was because of Matt. You're like, hey,
Yeah,
buddy Matt, he's in a band.
Yeah.
Talk to Tom. And so I think I hit you up. I was like, hey, we got an open slot. You guys ready to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah, because I actually
Familiar.
knew Matt Regetz post high school. Me and him hung out a lot. In my early terrible days and in his early terrible days.
And
so.
now you're in your late terrible days.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're really
Middle-
just terrible
middle-
days.
middle terrible.
Yeah, I don't think they call it late.
He's in his late terrible
yeah,
twos.
and Tom, I don't think I met you until I actually played with you at O's.
Probably not. Yeah,
Yeah.
that feels right.
That's fine. I mean,
Or was it at O's or was it the
No,
one?
it would have been at Berlin.
It would have been the Berlin.
Yeah, I did.
It was a Contrøller show.
Yeah, it
We
was
did
us.
play the
We
Berlin.
played
We did
Berlin
one time.
twice.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
twice?
I've seen
Twice.
posters of it because
Oh
Yep.
man,
I played a show with you.
We did.
Hey,
man.
pothead. Take the word of the non-pothead.
I was no.
He's,
Yes.
our, he's our archivist.
you wear
Hello.
pots
No.
on your head.
No, the second time we
Whoa.
played through, is when all of the transitions were happening with Skeletons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
It
how
was
I ended
very
up with a job over there.
I don't
With
remember.
skeletons.
So
this.
Yeah.
speaking of Five Body
No.
Blade, I'm pretty sure
Shut
that's the
up,
song
Steve.
that I very first heard from Kerosec live.
Yes, that was the song we played.
There was a multi-genre show. It was a Wednesday, the Throwdown at YOLO.
Oh, wait.
It started with acoustic. We had Jared Schneider and Teresa Shea Long. There was quite a few other groups. TKB was on there. Sean McKinney's project, X-Rated, was on
Oh,
there. So that
nice.
was pre
Really?
that was pre Hazen Soul.
Yeah.
I remember because Eric broke a guitar string. Like he was notorious for that. Like 30 seconds into the first song. So Sean,
strum soft boy.
we won't even go down that conversation. But anyway, there were hip hop artists on there.
Yes.
And I cannot remember the name of the guy.
Da Vinci.
There you go. Blonde dude from Kokomo. That's all I remember. And I'm on the other end of the venue. I have no interest in what this guy's doing. Again, local hip hop, not great. And then
Hey.
all of a sudden, the whole like genre shifted.
Yeah.
And like,
There's backing.
there's Kerosec playing 5 Body Blade. I'm like, what just happened? Where'd the
He
blonde
ran
guy
out
go?
of time.
Yeah.
That was not supposed to happen. He was like, I finished my songs early. You guys want to do one? I'm like, hell yeah.
Sure, let's go for
Let's
it.
own this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so apparently the guy, he finished his set early and gave you guys the opportunity to finish out the
Yeah.
set with one of yours. And the whole room lit up. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, it was one of those songs that everybody's like, okay, this is all right, this is good. And then I remember being drunk enough, I was like fanboying over you. Tom, hey, buddy, that was such a
Yeah, we
great
were in
song.
line at the
That was so
bathroom. We were in
good.
line by the
That was so
bathroom.
good.
I remember that.
Yep. I was like, we should do some shows together. Like, I'm in this band. I'm like,
Tom
oh my
might not
God.
remember a whole lot of things, but he remembers you fanboying.
Yeah.
We did not make it to the bathroom together. Let me just say that.
It all happened on the floor?
It all happened out there in the hallway.
It was in the hallway.
It was an individual bathroom.
But yeah, and you
Yeah.
guys eventually did. It was shortly thereafter you guys did that house party I had with that huge fire.
The one
was,
Josh Miller's.
No, my house
No?
party at my dad's
Oh,
house
that
out
one.
in Whitley County.
Oh,
Matt was
that
like on the swing set. The flames. There's pictures on my Facebook.
Yeah, we got way too hammered.
Everybody got wasted.
Oh, man, that's bad.
It was. There was.
Didn't you
That
throw
was
like
not
a
our
couch
party.
or something?
There was
like
a couch like 10 feet in the air before it even started.
Yeah, it was
So
like-
once it lit, it just the flames were like 30 feet in the air. I was panicking because I'm like, I watered the grass around there. So there's a
Yeah.
picture of me with a hose and then this like building size fire.
I think I've seen this
I've seen
photo.
the
I
picture.
wasn't there.
All I remember is literally just frantically running around going, okay, the minute this water
How
hits
is
the
the-
grass, it's drying.
County fire department not like on a watchtower like what?
It's Whitley County, man. They don't give two shits. So that was a
Volunteers
crazy
like,
night.
no, I'm volunteer. I ain't going unless I
Yeah.
have to.
It's like it's
wait
not
for the
it's not
call.
catching
Just wait
other
for the
things on
call.
fire. We're fine. We're fine.
All right, well,
So pick a number.
we're going to jump into what's called the hot seat questions.
Uh-oh.
And at this point, we're going to have you randomly pick a number between 1 and 25.
Yeah, they're in chunks
And,
of 4, so you know.
Then whatever your first response is off the top of your head is what we're going to go with.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
rough.
what is your first number, 1 through 25?
1 through 25.
14.
14. All right. What's your go-to dance move when no one is watching?
Yeah.
John Travolta.
Oh, the finger.
Oh, the
finger.
full disco bit.
That's probably not true, but I said it.
He's like, by then I don't remember.
There's no problem with that. All right.
No,
1 through
another-
25 again.
Yeah.
but not 14.
I
mean,
mean,
it can be.
Yeah, you can scroll down to another 14. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, let's keep it, within intervals. 21.
21.
All right, 21. What if you could only listen to one song for the rest of your life? What would that tune be?
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh.
That's hard. One song.
Mr. Self-Destruct.
Oh, yeah? 9 Inch
Ooh.
Nails? They
Nice.
bust out with the 9 Inch Nails.
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
What about that song? We'll do a quick little follow-up. I know this is hot
Whoa.
seat, but what about that song tickles your fancy so much that it would be
That is
your
mostly
one song?
noise.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That
It-
you
it
could,
is.
You could
It's
dissect it
musical
and
noise.
interpret it however you wanted to.
Yeah, all the way through.
Be the one that you actually are
That's a
paying
good album.
attention to, or just this white noise in the background at the same time.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Is that
Plays
further down the
well.
spiral?
no, just Downward Spiral.
Downward
Further
Spiral.
Down the Spiral is a remix album.
Yeah.
That was one of my first ones.
I don't remember which Halo it was. I didn't keep up
6?
with all the Halos.
I was going to
for a
say it
little
was
while.
like in the early ones.
Yeah.
It was before double digit.
Yeah,
All
I did for a while.
right, 1
another
through 25 again.
1 through 25.
2.
2. Do you have a bizarre snack combination you swear by that others might find odd?
Is that peanut butter portobello? Is
I did my best guess. Yeah.
that no.
Not really. I mean, I'm pretty boring when it comes to food.
Oh.
You got the
He's
spicy
never had-
mayo
he's-
sandwich thing going on?
He's never had pregnancy
No,
cravings.
no.
he's he's never had the pregnancy urge to
No pregnancy
eat
cravings.
pickles and like mayo or
Pickles
whatever.
and peanut butter or something.
Rocky Road and mustard.
no,
That's
but
it right there.
You don't have anything odd? Maybe Holly would call you out on? Like if we put her on right now, she'd be like,
I don't think so.
she's like, oh my God, he eats this.
No, I'm not a sweets guy, so I don't.
Well, even
It
like
doesn't have to be
savory.
sweet, anything.
I just eat a lot of, pretzels and hummus and stupid stuff like that.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's fair.
I'm not interesting when it comes to a lot of chicken wings and burgers.
Chicken
and-
wings and burgers.
Yeah.
Hot dogs
I'm
and
a
whatnot.
cis white male.
That's fair. It's a good place to be at, you know.
That's why I was asking, is mayo spicy for you?
No.
Okay. I wanted to know what level of white guy we were
Oh
at.
no. I am a fan of.
Pass
you
the
know-
ranch.
Oh, hey.
No, I won't even eat ranch on my chicken wings.
Oh no!
Oh, for real?
You are not a Midwestern.
I will if maybe I'm getting like the TNTs at Wings Etc. or something.
Okay.
Then I'll maybe be like, all right, I'm gonna do ranch on this one.
Cheese sticks dipped in cheese.
Nah. But we did the
Those are
Hot
awesome.
Ones challenge once, and you know, so I went the whole way, obviously. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
all the way
Fair
up to
enough.
the-
That's fair.
all the way up to the last dab. So
Fair enough.
I can hit.
Last
It was
so you're not full white guy.
No,
Yeah.
I would.
I mean,
so here's one little story. I can't really say all of it, but I
Those
did
are
a
the
lot
best
of rap.
ones.
I did a lot of rap production in my day, and I was actually doing. I was supposed to be playing a cop in like a sketch in a rap album,
okay.
Okay.
and I basically got chased out of the studio because I couldn't be white enough.
Oh my gosh.
And
Oh my gosh.
They were just like, you can't. You got. They said I had too much in me, and
You got too much substance.
Yeah.
too much
You got too much hood.
Bravado.
nonchalance.
Yeah, you got too
Bravado.
much hood.
There we go.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
He's too hood to be white.
Yep.
I got my hood pass.
All right. 1 through 25 again.
Not
Two more
right.
questions.
Two more questions. Here we go.
Let's do 17.
17. Is there a specific dish that you always order no matter how it's
Chicken
prepared
wings.
or where you are?
Is it chicken wings?
Chicken
really?
wings?
Not everywhere, but most
That's your
places.
go-to.
I'm a.
Doesn't matter if it's a breaded place or battered or any of that stuff. You'll
No.
go with wings.
I mean, if there was one I had to pick.
Oh, that sounds like Jeff and chicken tenders. Everywhere
mean,
we go, he gets
tendies.
chicken
Get some
tenders.
tendies.
No, he's talking about other Jeff.
It's
Yeah.
okay if it's any
Yeah.
consolation.
Yeah, Jeff-
I
Jeff
could
Cottle.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
mine's
could, I could
sushi.
eat mac and cheese all day, every day.
yeah.
Mine's
Mac and
sushi.
cheese
It's
is
still
pretty fire.
sushi. It's always been sushi.
Sushi's pretty good too.
It
Yeah.
will always be sushi.
Yeah, I love that.
All right.
Where do you go, man?
Well, Asakusa because my
They have
aunt
some
owns
killer
it.
octopus.
So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's my wife's favorite place.
Say that's awesome.
And the
Continue
octopus.
going.
But not a
love
close
the
enough
octopus.
aunt to where he gets it for free.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, they spend out so much to trade out their fish and whatnot. So, like,
They're
yeah, it's
All right, one more number.
Yep. One last time. What's the last question going to be?
22.
22. What's one question you never been asked that you wish somebody would ask you?
Are you okay?
Oh, are
that's
you
a
okay?
lie.
That's rough.
Are you okay?
I don't know if I can answer that one for real.
That's a weird question.
Yeah, you
I
want
mean-
you want to pick another? You want to give us another number instead
want
your
it.
yeah
No,
okay
go ahead.
Content,
Do it.
man.
Yeah, content, man, content. Let's get
go
the
with-
content.
Let's go with 7.
7. Right. Do you believe in any conspiracy theories? If so, which one's your favorite?
Oh gosh, oh gosh,
Can we
this
just
is gonna
refer to
take
the
like a
last
whole
Kerosec
hour.
Or the next.
Or the next. There you go. Stay tuned for the next Kerosec album.
One? Just one?
Just one.
The one.
Yeah, it
The
says
They're
the-
all at least a little true.
I mean,
fair.
I mean,
There's always a little truth in every
But they're
lie. or
all
else it's-
almost very much a little false,
Yeah.
if not a lot of false. And that's the thing. My thing with conspiracy theories and the accepted truth is it's probably right around
like
middle.
the
Fair.
middle.
what's
Yeah,
really happening.
that's fair.
Like a whole thing about the elites controlling the Illuminati controlling the world and stuff. It's like, well, of course all the rich people are hanging out with each other,
Right.
making deals,
because
That's
they're
what
going to
everybody else-
clubs that only
It's
rich
the same
people
as
are
high
allowed
school.
at.
Yeah,
right? But
Yeah.
I don't think they necessarily are going to make it happen every time because they're not infallible creatures.
Right.
Like, they're not going to necessarily be able to understand what the economy is going to be like in 6 months, let alone.
right.
Well,
they're
Everybody's taking
They can
shots in
try.
the dark.
Yeah,
You know,
they are trying, but they're not necessarily.
My
gonna win every
standpoint
time.
is every conspiracy always has a little bit of truth because the best lie
yeah.
is one that started with a base of truth.
yeah.
Because then there's
Yeah.
something to start off of. But
Gulf of Tonkin.
yes,
oh, oh my goodness. Yeah,
Sorry.
Gulf of Tonkin, huh?
That one's
That's rough. Yeah.
Pretty gnarly.
Yep.
Back
Before
to
we
the
get
left.
too deep on this one, and we're keeping it fun. So at this point in time,
Also, my Illuminati friends, don't worry, I didn't say anything.
so
Me neither.
you have released your newest release, Fluff.
Yes.
What other things do you got on the horizon? Be it with production, be it with your own releases,
Yeah.
Kerosec releases. What do you got coming up? What do you want to push?
Okay, so Fluff is not totally done yet. I've got a music video for Seven Hearts that I am currently working on.
Mm-hmm.
Should be out in the next month or so.
Nice.
And then there's an album for Dusty Brown. Actually, she'll be going as Destina.
Nice.
A 9-track album that should be coming out sometime soon. I'm finishing that one up. That's more of a productions thing. There is an album that I am working on, 13-song guy, that I don't know if I'm going to release it as Tom Kerosec or try to find a band to go around it and
Play it
call
out.
it a band and go from there or what.
Would this be something that you are considering as a actual Kerosec release, or would this be a whole separate venture?
They'll be separate. This will be
Okay.
Tom Kerosec, if not a different band
Okay.
than Kerosec. Working title is Future Tense.
Nice.
But it's going to lean into my obsession with Nine Inch Nails and Ministry. And being
Very
Hey,
nice.
so very industrial in
Yeah.
orientation. That's awesome. I
a
love
flavor
that.
that's not overly done in the area.
Yeah, well, just period anymore.
Yeah.
It just
It's-
feels like it kind of fell off
Yeah,
for a while.
I want to do a whole thing like, click tracks, back tracks, just like
Yeah.
lights, like
Go all in.
go into debt over this and make it like,
What are you
What the-
talking about? We're all musicians. You've already gone into debt over
Yeah.
all of this.
yeah, that's true. More debt.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
More debt.
But then, other than that, Kerosec is still trudging along
Right on.
at getting What's Next, the sophomore follow-up to On the Verge of Intelligence. We're mixing some of it today.
Awesome.
It's
Very
just
nice.
slow-moving. We've had to become adults and have full-time jobs.
I
so
mean,
things move slower. So
it happens, yeah.
It's not coming out as quick as On the Verge did, but it is sounding tasty.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
At the end of the day, that's all that matters is that the product that
it's going to be
you're
worth it.
wanting
Yeah.
to come out comes out.
Yeah.
So
And that you're happy with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'll be happy with it.
Good.
That you're excited
I'm
about
happy with it.
what you're doing.
From whatever, we're getting to the point where it's like really just feeling like
the minutia, the
Minutia? Nice.
Yeah. Good word.
there's-
Well, I mean, I don't know. Is there more?
no, I mean,
Where can
unless
they,
you
where
got
can they,
anything else
where
that you
can they
want-
find this
Yeah.
stuff at?
Yeah.
How would
Oh,
what
it's
would
all
be the
over the
easiest way to
place.
find either if we're interested in
Yeah,
working with you on a
links.
production level or performance level?
Drop the things.
Okay, production level is more so just www.kerosecproductionsllc.com.
Nice.
We'll put that down in the description so that way you guys can find it easier.
There's quite a few music videos referred to
Yes,
too,
and
Steve. So
if you just go on Google and search for Kerosec or Tom Kerosec, you'll find everything else pretty much.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah,
And Kerosec with a K.
with a K,
Yes.
Like kerosene.
K-E-R-O-S-E-C,
Kerosec.
pronounced like kerosene,
Yeah.
but I mean
Kerosec.
Kerosec, but I mean
Pronounced like
corrosive kerosene.
Jinx.
What?
What?
Anyway, check
Yes.
it out.
Well, awesome. Yeah, if you got anything else you'd like to push, then awesome. If not, then we'll just
Controller's
make
got a new EP coming out.
sure. Yeah.
What?
Check it out.
What?
Those guys
Actually, it's
This
already out
guy.
now at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys suck.
It's already out.
Yeah, at this point,
At
it'll
the
already
point
be
where
out.
this
By the time this drops.
Yeah.
Oh, we're in the future.
Oh,
Yeah, future in the future.
Future
Future
is
tense.
tense.
I don't have the time to do week of releases. I have to batch things.
Indeed.
Almost retake.
I was like solidarity. I'm with you.
Editing's a thing.
Oh man, it is.
Yeah.
I hate it.
So do I. But thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me. You guys
Yeah.
are the best.
And appreciate you taking
Check
the
out all
time
Tom's
here.
stuff, Kerosec stuff.
I
Yeah,
play
absolutely.
music.
And we will have links to all of the production and band stuff down in the description. Please feel free to hit him up, watch all the videos, check out all the songs and
record
all
music.
the stuff.
All the stuff. All
All
the
the
stuff. And
stuff.
thank you guys so much. We love your guts.
All right.
Love your
Have a good
guys.
night.
Later.
So sorry.
Anatomically controller.
Thank you for listening to Actually Contrøller. If you liked what you heard, please consider following us on all our socials. You can easily find us on all the different platforms by going to linktree/Contrøller33 or scan the QR code if you're watching the video version of this episode. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time.